our topic, our religion that we chose was Judaism, and I started to make a comparison. You can imagine all the four biggest city in Canada, the biggest city in population, but you can imagine like the four biggest, that is Toronto, Montreal, Calgary, and Ottawa, and imagine all this population in just 4 years disappear. They are killed, and we're gonna talk about that part of the history. So about the Holocaust, and this was a bad part of the history of the Jews, and we chose to mention about it. And this is one of the places this happened in the World War, the Second World War, and this was the place where the Jews are sent, and the weakest ones and the children and women were killed. Our structure about this, we talked just a little bit about what's Judaism and something about before the Holocaust, how was their lives during the World War, the Second World War, and after that the Judaism, how is today. So, the introduction about the Judaism, they are monotheist. They believe in just one God that created everything, the universe. They follow their book, their Bible, is Torah. That's part of the Jewish Bible. And I have a picture. This is a Torah. It's a book, and usually they are made of the skin of the cow, and it's leather. And usually it takes about 16 months to prepare to be good enough to can write in it. So it's really hard to have one of these. And they usually recite prayer 3 times daily. They just 3 times, but not just with the Torah. So usually they recite before the eating, but not using the Torah. Just some words and some phrases to say thank you to God about their meal when they wake up. So it's this three is just for it's more it's more important, these 3 ones. The other ones is just to say thank you. And about we say now about the vestment, the vestments that they usually use. This one is the famous one, is kippah, is a hat they usually use. It's a small one and they use in this area, and I have a picture, this one. They usually this one for when they are praying or in ceremonies, or sometimes when they are, the old ones prefer using this all the time. So you can see these people using in the streets, and or sometimes the people use just to pray. Another one is not so common, it's the tefillin. It's another one that you use just in the holidays and in the weekends. And it's this one, that's a leather box that has some parts of their Torah, and it's in the forehead, and they have like a strap that come in the left arm, and around the left arm, and they use this to pray. And this just in special case, this a soldier using during his training. And I talk a little bit about before the Holocaust. How was their lives? They were about 90 million Jews in all the Europe, and we have the Jews of Eastern, that usually in Poland, the Soviet Union, Hungary, and Romania. They were more conservative. They have their own tradition. They spoke their own language. So they are the traditional ones. And we have the of the Western, Germany, France, Italy, and the Netherlands, that they are not so conservative. They was trying to mix with the culture of their country. They are not. They are trading their. They are not using their customs all the time. They was trying to learn the language of their country. They are trying to mix with the country that they live. Here's a picture. You can see usually the old ones. They are more conservative, so they use all their outfit, all their dressing, and you have usually the more new ones. They try to integrate with the society, and they are using like here a suit, so they are trying to combine to mix with the culture. And now we're talking about during the World War and.
Yes, I'm going to tell you something about the history of the Jews during the Second World War, and this was one of the most tragic periods in the Jews' history. And this began with Adolf Hitler. He was the dictator of Germany, and he wanted to exterminate the whole Jewish population. Yes. But why did Hitler hate the Jewish people? This is why, because he thought, in his opinion, the Jewish people are responsible for huge events like losing the First World War, or starvation, or poverty, and so on. And with the years, when Hitler became get more power, he started to kill and torture the Jewish people, and this is called Holocaust. And yes, and the first part of the Holocaust was to transport the Jewish people from the population to ghettos. And the ghettos were really dirty, it was really unhealthy, and normally it was really impossible to live there, but the Jewish people are forced to live there. And also, they were forced to wear yellow stars. For example, if you're going down the streets and you see someone who had a yellow star, you say, okay, he's a Jew, he's a Jew. And this has caused physical and emotional pain to the Jews who lived in Germany and in other European countries. But they tried to make the best of it. They prayed in the ghettos, they studied there, and they conducted religious services. And now you can see a ghetto, and you can see it is really dirty. It looks really destroyed. There are here are too many people in one place. They don't have enough place to live. And here is a Star of David, and you can see that that little children had to wear the Star of David as well. Yeah. And 1942, the Nazis thought about how can we exterminate the whole Jewish people in Europe. And yeah, they started to kill every Jew, and they created concentration camps. They also called death camps. In the concentration camps, the doctors tried medical experiments to them. For example, how can we heal malaria or something like that. And they also had to do hard work, and often they died because of the medical experiments and hard work. They also killed in gas vents with poison, and they were shot or tortured. And now you can see a concentration camp. There are too many people in one place. They had to sleep with 10 people, and you can see that they look very unhappy. You can see the pain in their face. They don't have much food, and they are really skinny, and they don't have much clothes on, and yeah, it's really scary. And here is a second concentration camp in Flossenbürg, and they are wearing striped uniforms and armband or labels to identify the type of the prisoners. And this picture is really sad because I went to this concentration camp 3 years ago with my class, and it was really sad because you can see the blood, the clothes from the Jewish people who died there, and yeah, it's really, really sad.